Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead World Beyond, and we're going to be talking about the little post-credit scene that we got at the end of episode 4. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But yeah, at the end of episode 4, we got a post-credit scene, and it was pretty amazing to say the least. I'm very excited to talk about it. It's about the CRM and what they've been doing, and this post-credit scene did answer some questions that we've had in the past, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. We're going to be breaking down the post-credit scene, but we're also going to be looking at some past seasons of The Walking Dead where they have hinted at the CRM and sort of built up stuff about the CRM, but never really gave us full answers, and we're going to discuss how this scene answered some of those questions. So again, very exciting stuff. I'm about to get into it. So before I do though, I will say general spoiler warning in case you aren't caught up with The Walking Dead. And then also, if you are a fan of the show, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more Walking Dead content like this. But let's get into it. So yeah, during the post-credit scene, we saw this woman conducting experiments on walkers, or tests on walkers. They were calling the walkers test subjects. And this answered that question about whether or not the CRM is doing tests. I mean, we sort of already had a theory that they were. I mean, it seemed kind of obvious, but this confirmed it. Not only that, it did confirm what an A was. Now, it indirectly confirmed what an A was. They didn't straight up tell us what an A and a B was, but if you watch the sneak peek or if you watch the post-credit scene, it tells us basically what an A is. And an A is someone who's getting tested on, a walker. Now, the reason why this is really important is because Jadis kept referring to A's and B's back in season 8 and 9 of The Walking Dead, and it's kind of crazy to think about. That was like years ago, so we waited a long time for this to be answered. But a couple of examples was, remember when when Jadis captured Rick and put him inside that container, she wrote an A outside of the container. When she captured Negan, she was going to have Negan bitten. And remember, when Negan was tied up and she brought out that walker to bite him, the helicopter was right there. The helicopter came through during that moment. So it was almost like the helicopter and the CRM knew what Jadis was doing and was going to take Negan to go get tested on, which is kind of insane to think about. Like, that's Negan. And then also she was going to have Gabriel be bitten, but she didn't do that. Negan escaped, but Gabriel, she kind of stopped on her own. And another interesting thing is that she told Gabriel, I thought you were a B, but you're an A. And when she said that you're an A, she was going to have him be bitten. So what does that mean? That A's are most likely people who are bitten. And those people who are bitten are then most likely turned into walkers, and then they're going to be experimented on. Now, I do believe that the CRM may be experimenting on them before they turn into a walker also, and I will discuss that in a second because it's something that the woman who was conducting the tests in the post-credit scene, she said something about that, which again, we'll get to that in a second. But in the post-credit scene, she said, please bring out test subject A403. So that letter A pretty much does confirm that A's are people who are being tested on. Now, Rick Grimes was going to be an A when she was going to have him be bitten, but then she changed it to a B because remember, after the bridge exploded and Rick was injured, she said, I have a B for you, not an A. And she also said the same thing to Gabriel, like, I thought you were a B, but you're an A. So that makes me think that maybe B's are people who are not people who are being experimented on, but rather people who are important to the group or could be useful to the community, which is confusing on its own because the CRM has 200,000 people. So I'm not sure why they would need this single individual B. Like, why is Gabriel a B, or why is Rick a B, or is everybody there a B, right? There's A's and B's. Like, B's are the people who are just living there, and then A's are people who are being experimented on. Because remember, another thing she told Gabriel was, we can leave here and go have a great life there, right? If she's referring to him as a B, and then also talking to him about having a great life there, I'm sort of assuming that B's are maybe just the individual people in the communities. They're all called B's. We'll see exactly what a B means. It's hard to tell because of how big the CRM is, but we definitely now know that A's are those who are being experimented on. So getting into the post-credit scene, we had the lady say, please bring out test subject A402. And the 402 is also interesting because it kind of makes me think, have they been experimenting on hundreds and hundreds of walkers? And if you look at the scene, you can see there's a bunch of walkers who are in the background, right? So they are doing a bunch of experiments. And we have this walker here. Obviously, this looks to be like some sort of setup where they're doing experiments. And the lady says something really interesting. So she says that the test subject displayed no detectable responses to psychological stimuli. This is interesting to me because it looks like maybe they're doing some sort of test to see if they're going to have a behavior, some like human behavior, I guess, these walkers. Maybe they're trying to, I mean, not maybe, they are trying to come up with a cure, because that's what Elizabeth was talking to with Hope and Iris, and how their dad is trying to help create a cure. So I think they're maybe just testing on these walkers to see how their brain works. Because next, she said brain fluid is being drawn for further testing, results to be compared to tests performed during and immediately following reanimation. Now this takes me back to what I was saying earlier on why I think they may be doing testing before they turn into a walker and after. That's why it's important for Jadis to have these people be bitten before they go, because everyone turns into a walker, right? Like even if you don't get bitten, no matter what happens to you, you turn into a walker. But I think the reason they want people who are bitten is to see them or to slowly test on them before they're a walker, and then again, like she said, immediately after or following reanimation. And I think they're trying to see what changes in the brain, you know, like why they act the way they do when they're walkers. And remember, the thing about this is that zombies don't exist in this universe. Like, you know, they didn't have any pop culture zombies, stuff like that. They don't have zombie movies or anything like that. Zombies are completely brand new to these people. They don't even know what a zombie is. That's why they call them walkers and empties and you know, a bunch of other stuff. So for them, they're really trying to figure out like what's up with these things. Like, why are they acting like this, right? Like, what's going on? So this is really interesting stuff to me. You guys let me know what you think about it. But this, like, because remember, I remember back in season 1 when they went to this CDC and they were talking to Dr. Jenner. That was some interesting stuff. Now I know the show isn't really, I know the main show isn't focused on a cure, because the main show is what is based on the comics. And the comics, you know, it was just trying to be, this is the world they live in and the characters have to survive. And that was amazing. You know, I love that. But I do like how, and I like how they didn't force the cure stuff on the main show. They did it for the spin-off, which I think is great. You know, the main show is based on the comic and it's true to the comic, and I love that, and it's great. And then the spin-offs focus more on other stuff around this universe, which I think, again, is really cool. But anyways, going back to the post-credit scene, next she said tomorrow will begin the climate variation tests as scheduled. So it seems like they're also doing tests on how the walkers survive in different climates. Not really sure how they're conducting those, if they're just going to put them in a room and change the temperature or something, or are they really doing like insane tests with rain and snow. I don't know how they're going to do this, but hopefully they do show us more, because this is by far some of the most interesting stuff I've seen. And again, yeah, I do hope they show us more. Now, test subject A402, that is someone by the name of Dr. Samuel Abbott, and they said, or she said, that he's from Portland, Oregon. So remember, Felix said that the CRM have an alliance with Portland, Oregon, and it might be a similar situation with Jadis, with how the CRM had an alliance with Jadis, and Jadis would trade people for food. It might be something similar with Portland, Oregon. Now here's where things get pretty insane, because after that she says bring out test subject A403, and she says this while she's munching on a sandwich. But when she says that, it cuts to this photo on her desk, and we can see Hope and Iris's dad, and we can see Dr. Samuel Abbott right there on her left. So yeah, that is kind of insane, because that's somebody that she knew and they're doing tests on him. And we can see Hope and Iris's dad on her right, and we can see someone else on his right. Now, I'm assuming that's her. It's kind of hard to tell because the picture is not very good. It's kind of blurry, but I'm assuming that is her. And this makes me wonder, is Hope and Iris's dad about to be tested on? I really hope not. That would really suck. I don't want that to happen. But it makes me wonder, like, I mean, it's sort of hard to explain why it wouldn't happen, because if Samuel Abbott is getting tested on, the only explanation I can think of is maybe he did something wrong. Maybe they didn't like him. He did something bad and they tested it on him. But I don't know who test subject A403 is going to be. You guys let me know who do you think that is in the comments down below. Now, Hope and Iris's dad, he has been communicating with his daughters, you know, through the radio and stuff like that. But hopefully they didn't figure that out. They might have, because they went through everything once Hope and Iris left. But this makes me worried for him, and you know, apparently he knows something that can help with the cure. So because of that, maybe they don't. I'm kind of holding on to that as you know, a possibility on why they wouldn't have him be tested on. Maybe Dr. Samuel Abbott did something wrong, or maybe they didn't think they needed him as much as they needed the other guy, Hope and Iris' dad, and because of that reason, Hope and Iris' dad will be okay. But we'll see. This image really makes me feel suspicious. So you guys let me know what you think about that. But really awesome post-credit scene. We learned about the CRM and what the A and B system is. We know that Rick isn't an A, so Rick probably isn't going to be here, so that's good. But you guys let me know all your thoughts and opinions about this in the comments down below. Your thoughts and opinions and theories. Let me know your theories and what do you think is going to happen, and who do you think test subject A403 is. But I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating. Again, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video and you want more Walking Dead videos, like, just be sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, everybody. Please stay safe, and I'll see you guys soon.